Hi, this is Joseph Kurt, and welcome to my storybook. And this part two series are called Little Wonder. Yesterday, I have read chapter one and chapter two in this book, Little Wonder. Now we'll be reading chapter three and chapter four in this book. Here we go. Chapter three: Swing, Battle, Battle, Swing, Battle. After school, Ronald did his math homework. Then he read for 30 minutes for his reading homework. He kept thinking about hitting baseballs. After 30 minutes, his buzzer went off. That meant he was done, and his reading. Little Ronald wasn't outside. Grandpa James was waiting. I'm going to smack every pitch into the street, Ronald said. Just like yesterday. Grandpa smiled. Let's warm up first. He tossed the ball into the air and caught it in his glove. Get ready. Ronald put on his glove. He felt loose and excited today. His throws have more zip on them. He caught every ball Grandpa threw, even when Grandpa made it tough by throwing it down wide or high. All right, let's bat, Grandpa said. Ronald tapped the plastic bat on the ground. He put it back towards his shoulder and waited for the pitch. He planned to hit it out of the yard. Seagull wouldn't to be yard. Seagull wouldn't want to be yard. Little Ronald sent that to the ball. Ronald swung harder than ever, but instead of a sword crack, he heard nothing but a switch. Strike one. Came a voice for the driveway. Ronald turned to look. His brother CJ was walking over with a big grin. CJ was 12 years old and looked like a bigger version of Ronald, long legs and long. They both looked a lot like Grandpa, too, but Grandpa's skin was darker. CJ was left-handed, just like Ronald. Nice swing, CJ said. It felt the breeze all the way over here. Ronald laughed. His brother was always joking like that. I take the outfield, CJ said. Better go way back, Ronald said, and be ready to jump. CJ troubled into a space in front of the hedge. Grandpa threw another pitch. Ronald looked his eyes on the ball. He swung as hard as before, but the bat barely nickled the ball. It went straight to the ground and rolled a few feet. Ronald shook his head. Just missed the ball, Grandpa said. If it will go, it will go if you hit it so. Ronald was frustrated. He wanted to show CJ how hard he can hit. He, he grabbed the bat tunnel. He missed the next pitch completely. Too hard, Grandpa said. Just make contact with the ball. The ball will take care of itself and getting bored out here. CJ called. He waved at Ronald and smiled. Ronald dug in and waited. Grandpa was right. Ronald took a steady swing at the next pitch and lined it towards the hearts. CJ grabbed it on one bounce and tossed it back. Ronald hit the next three pitches. CJ caught two of them on the fly. The other bounced all the way to the edge, to the hutch. I'm in the zone now, Ronald thought. This next one is out here. He put all his might into the next swing. Boom! He knocked the pitch over the heads. Goodbye, Mr. Baseball, CJ said as he watched it go. Nice one, Rhino. See, Grandpa said, you got plenty of power. Little Wanda, just make the ball. You see the result. CJ came back with the ball. Wanda wondering if Dylan had been out drill get be out there again. Dylan would never mess with a guy as big as CJ. You put a dent in the ball, CJ said. You smack it so hard. Really? Wano asked. CJ laughed. Now they went clear across the street. Wano kept batting for a half hour. He hit two more over the arch. Then they went inside to eat dinner. I have a surprise for you, Grandpa said as he poured some orange juice. What's your favorite thing to do, little Wano? Wano and CJ was sitting around the big dinner table, passing a bowl of mac and cheese around. His baseballs, Wano said out loud. Then he thought and think about how I am going to be in the majors one day, playing professional baseball with a million World Series, be the MVP every single season, every season. And how would you like to be on a real team? Grandpa asked. What? Les. Wano could pitch. Wano could picture himself in a new baseball uniform with a team hat. He'll blast home runs and steal bases. He'll dive for line drives. Sign up for the Windward City League on Saturday, Grandpa said. There will also be a clinic to teach blue players the basics of the game. Warner couldn't believe it. He'll be playing baseball in a league. It's a great program, CJ said. I played in that league for 4 years. Now he was on the baseball team at his middle school. I can't wait, Wano said. Can we practice some more now? We're done enough for today, Grandpa said. Did you finish all the homework? Yes, but Wano wasn't sure if he'd done enough. He had started to daydream during his 30 minutes of reading because he wanted to hit baseballs. He knew he should be ready. He should read the story again. I'll read some more after dinner, he said. Books first, Grandpa said with a smile. Baseball second, Wano added. After dinner, Wano read the book again. He understood it much better this time. Then he sat on his bed with his baseball glove. He held the ball in his hand. When he looked in the mirror, he imagined himself in a full baseball uniform. Tomorrow, that dream will come true. Chapter 4. Practice makes a great player. The baseball field was loaded with kids, some taller than him and others looking really fast. Warner saw many boys and girls he knew, but there was some that he'd never seen before. This will be great, said Cooper. He walked to the field with Warner and Grandpa James. Let's get out there. Cooper wasn't shy when it came to playing sports. He didn't have to talk much then. He let his sports skills do his talking for him. He ran onto the field and slapping hands with a couple of boys. Waldo stood next to Grandpa and watched. I ain't waiting for this. He wondered. You'll do fine, Grandpa said. He squeezed Waldo's shoulder. Waldo globed. He felt his hand begin to sweat inside his baseball glove. He had amazed that he would be a star. Now he wasn't so sure. There were so many players. Some of them were very good athletes. Let's sign up, Grandpa said. He put on his glasses and stringed one toward the table. Several adults were helping kids fill out forms. Wanna keep looking around as Grandpa filled out the papers. Kids were running and tossing baseball around. They all looked confident. Wanna saw Dylan in the outfield. Dylan hadn't seen him. You better not get in the way of my playing baseball, Ronald Stinker said. A man in a red jacket and a black baseball cap blew a whistle. He called for all of the players to take seats in the bleachers. We'll break into for full groups, the man said. Everyone will get a chance at each station. We'll show you the bases of drawing and catching, fielding and grounder, batting and running the bases. Then you'll find out which team you're on. Next week, you'll begin having practice sessions with your coach. Cooper tapping Ronald on the arm. Let's get in the same group, he said. Ronald and Cooper went to the drawing and catching station first. I'm Coach Ray, said the man in charge of the first station. He showed them how to step for the target when drawing the ball and to catch it securely in a way at the web of the glove. Ronald and Cooper already knew those bases, but not every kid did. They split into pairs and threw the ball back and forth. Coach Ray went from pair to help. He was friendly but serious, as you lately. As you lately. Coach said to Ronald, "Do you bat left-handed too?" Ronald nodded. He felt better now. He was glad to be paired with Cooper. They were good at this. Ronald struggled a bit at the next station. Fielding and grounders wasn't so easy, and he hadn't tried that skill much at home. I'll learn this with a little practice, he thought. The coach at this station showed him how to crouch correctly and get behind the ball. Take a step toward it and keep your glove wide open, said the coach. This was fun. Ronald fielded the next three balls that came his way. He did very well at running the bases, too. Ronald was fast. Batting was harder. Ronald didn't have much experience hitting hard ball. The bat was heavier than the hole he was used to, but he had three grounders and popping one up. He only missed the ball at three times. They spent about 20 minutes at each station. It was clear to Ronald that a few of the players were better than he was. Some others were just beginners. Ronald could tell that he was better at some things than others. Can't wait to be in a real game, Cooper said. I hope I get to pitch. Ronald wasn't sure which position he'll like. Infielders had to deal with lots of ground balls. He'd done all right with that, but he was better and catching flies. I'm probably do best in the outfield. The man in the red jacket blew his whistle again. We're breaking two teams now, he said. Listen for your name. These first players will be on the Mustangs. If you hear your name, report to Coach Ray in the right field. Ronald and Cooper didn't need to wait long. They both were assignments to the Mustangs. Rhino raced to right field when he heard his name. Cooper soon followed. Rhino recognized one other player on the team. It was Bella from the dinosaur group at school. The same family of butterflies flew back into his stomach. That's my dad, Bella said, pointing to Coach Ray. He's super nice. That's good, Ronald said. He'd already learned a lot from Coach Ray. Coach clapped his hands and said, All right, Mustangs, this will be a great season. Ronald had a big grin. He could tell that being on a team would be fun. He'll learn a lot and get to compete. Cooper and Bello would be nice teammates. Coach looked at his chipboard. He counted on the players in the group. Someone's missing, he said. He raised his head and looked toward the infield. Here he comes, Coach said. Warner turned to look. Then his heart snapped. No way. He could hear that big mouth talking from a mile away. Daniel was twirling over to join the Mustangs. And that's the end for this story. This chapter 3 and chapter 4. Now we'll be reading chapter 5 and chapter 6 in this book for tomorrow. Tomorrow, Little Rhino, the book. Until then, have a great time, and I'll see you tomorrow.